Have I said it? Chapter 6. Suffering. Suffering is your own activity. Your suffering is entirely your own. It is your own activity. And it is a radically pleasant activity, not caused by something else. You are not suffering what is happening or has happened or will happen to you. Your suffering is your own activity. Nobody put you into your present state. No one is keeping you in it. It is a present activity. It is your present activity. Something has already happened. You are already suffering. Suffering is not your symptom, it is your activity. That is the paradox. In every case, there is one fundamental activity. One thing is the suffering. It is an activity, this activity. Our suffering is our own activity. It is something we are doing moment to moment. It is a completely voluntary activity. What are you doing? What are you always doing? What are you doing now? Grasp it. Fall into truth and grasp onto nothing after that. Throw away everything but that and continually know that. Fear is the very mood of the ego. Fear is your creation, not something happening to you. If you are troubled by what arises, you are not in your proper relationship to things. You are not existing in relationship to what arises at all. The drama is unnecessary. What has all of that got to do with you? When you enjoy truth, you are already free. And if you are free, what has all of this compulsive limitation to do with you? Why are you conditionable? Why are you suffering these conditions? It is your own action. When this contraction does not occur, no conditioning occurs, no thought binds. There is only bliss. All of this is already bliss. Bliss is the nature of this. Bliss is the nature of consciousness. Bliss is the nature of this event. There are lots of someplace else's, but they will be no more blissful for you than this if you are not already blissful. If you were already free of suffering, it wouldn't make any difference to you whether this room appeared, or a ballroom in Vienna, or a seventh plane party. The fact that suffering is gone would be the thing that makes you happy. When suffering no longer distracts, you see that you are already happy, that you are happiness. It is your own activity. In every second, see that it is not only that you are disturbed, but you are disturbing everybody else. You are disturbed. You are asking questions. You have this dilemma. That is true. That is the whole point. You are suffering, yes. Since you are only suffering, why are you defending all of this nonsense? It is time to be rid of all of that. It is utterly unnecessary. It can be abandoned. All of that I want surrendered. I want to see all the beards, all the hair, all the mantras, all the clothing, all the suffering, all of the sorrows, all of the long faces, all of the yoga, all of the visions, all of the beliefs, all of the philosophies, all of the religion and spirituality, all of your racial and personal history. I want to see your birth and your death. I want all of it. Such are the implications of truth. All attempts to relieve the life of suffering by various means, remedies, do not produce truth. They may heal disease, but only truth produces truth. Only the most radical approach to a man's suffering is useful. I see men suffering. While they are being truth only, I see them suffering. The fact they are suffering doesn't make them any less the truth, any less the same thing that is all beings, all things. It simply means that they are suffering. If you look at all beings from the point of view of truth, there is only truth, and truth has this little chronic problem. It is not that truth is absent. Truth is always already the case. It is simply not obvious to men. Truth is not absent. Men are suffering. Whatever we are fundamentally concerned, we are also fundamentally in conflict. The you who does all of that is itself the suffering. It knows nothing. It is itself the suffering. The man having an ecstatic vision is in the same condition as the man watching a TV commercial. The state of the ordinary yogi is as much an illusion as the state of the dying, suffering man. The only ones who are not suffering are those who are living truth. We are mad. The ordinary state of our existence, although it is usually kept intact and relatively calmed by the politics of human society, is founded in the madness of a prior logic, a schism in reality that promotes the whole suffering adventure of our lives in endless and cosmic obstacles. All our suffering and all our deaths are endured only in the concepts, the functions and mentality that are guided by the unconscious logic of Narcissus. Narcissus begins where there is a frustration of creativity. Where there is no Narcissus, there is simply unqualified creativity and presence. Narcissus is the reduction of the world to the form of his own separate person. Seeking is the drama of Narcissus. He waits outside the heart. There is no salvation for Narcissus. Salvation is reality which has nothing to do with Narcissus. There is only reality which is not Narcissus. Understanding is the absence of Narcissus. Where there is understanding, Narcissus does not arise. Where there is the absence of Narcissus, there is only reality. Narcissus is dead. Man, like every other manifestation in reality, is a totality, non-separate, unqualified, powerful and perfect. His life is universal life and consciousness. However, he lives as a composite of separate, limited and rival functionism, or as an entity, identical to its lowest and mortal form. Man can enjoy God, truth and reality, so he must realize that consciously while alive. It requires a transformation in him that exceeds all that he is, all that he tends to be, and all that he prefers. It requires an absolute turnabout. How great is that occupation compared to all the bullshit that human beings live? This life, as it is commonly lived, is insane. From the moment of its awareness, this life is a question. It seems absurd to be actually existing and yet not to know what actually existing is, and to spend the entire period of actually existing trying to discover what actually existing is. This is an insane condition. You want to be consoled and fascinated. That's what it is. That's what you're up to. It's not that you are trying to understand and really can't. It's just that you are fundamentally, presently committed to that thing that understanding would make impossible. If you could truly grasp what it is your life is making out of you, you would be terrified by that, not by God and the universe and the nature of things. You would be terrified by your own tendencies. Just to perceive the point of view of the search, if you could truly see it, would be terrifying. Suffering is the primary fact for individual life. Everyone is suffering in exactly the same way. Everything happens appropriately, even for those who live in ignorance of truth. It is just that, apart from truth, apart from the life of truth, the appropriate thing that happens is suffering and death. Nothing is about to happen to any of you except death. That's it. That's your dues for a distraction, a good dream. That which seeks release from death must die. Every moment is the moment of fearful death and the attempt to create that which shouldn't die but must die. Everybody dies. Everybody who has ever lived has died. There is no escape from death. Every single one of you is going to die. You are going to die. Literally and absolutely, not just a little bit. It is not just your body that is going to die. You are going to die, and that is the truth. You are going to die. Nothing that is conditional survives. What is amazing in this manifestation of billions of beings with millions of human beings is that one can appear to be born among so many and yet have so little company for a lifetime. Because everyone is obsessed, everyone is moving that way, the other way, at light speed. In the midst of all these distractions that we try to generate every single moment, as often as we can, basically No one knows what this is. No one. No one knows what it is. The usual man stands as a human being in the world without the slightest idea what that is. You don't know where it began. You don't know fundamentally what it is. You don't know where it goes. Nobody knows what it is. There is far more involved in life than that of which people have even a little awareness. We get along with one another and just don't deal with anything fundamental. So we don't live as if there were God, truth, and reality. But we don't really live as if there were not God, truth, and reality either. Truly, human existence has not appeared in the world as yet. Watch human beings, I mean literally just watch everyone. All these idiotic beings. There are billions upon billions overpopulating the earth, bombing one another, and making treaties with one another. And they are totally deluded. Not a single one of them has enjoyed a moment as enlightening as a wave on the beach. I'm not trying to be amusing, but that's the way it is. All of that may be amusing to you, and the dumber you are, the more likely you are to be amused by it. Maybe I'm getting out of line, but that's the way it seems to me. I can't understand how people can go on with it. I mean, it overwhelms me. As soon as I think about what people do from day to day, I literally cannot believe it. I can't understand how you put up with it without screaming your brains loose. You just want to get it on, you know. Watch the news, suck it down and wait until death. I can't understand that kind of mentality. But as soon as you get a little bit hip to it, as soon as it all gets really amusing to you, then Bubba Free John, Adidal Samraj, is here. The world is absolutely insane. The world in itself and as it is does not have any capacity whatsoever for enjoying the divine presence. The divine manifestation is not permitted in this world. It is the ultimate taboo. The world is a massive resistor of the divine event. The cult of Narcissus, the cult of this world, is all about the suppression of ecstasy, the suppression of happiness. We deny one another the life force in the absence of love. To love is to share principal food, to share the divine. We are starving. We do not love. To seek to find God, to seek to be realized, why does that seem so obvious to you? So reasonable, because you are only reasonable. You have ceased to be unreasonable. You have ceased to live in your fundamental and prior condition, which is enjoyment. Bliss, happiness, fullness, in which everything is justified, in which all functional conditions are justified, and eternally free. The absolute blissfulness is too happy for people in the usual condition to tolerate. It is really too much. They can't live with it, they can't function with it, they can't accept it. They are always looking for something that is just a little aggravating. A cultic object is allowed to be divine in this world. A conventional guru is allowed to be divine. A god in a book is allowed to be divine, but you are not allowed to be divine. In this moment, you are not permitted to be happy. It is taboo. It is taboo to be already happy. You must seek happiness. It is all right to seek God. But to realize God, truth and reality while alive is the absolute taboo. To start talking about God, truth and reality, to think God, truth and reality, to act God and truth and reality, to make the divine the present condition of the world, to life that divine power, to live that light, to be full, that is unacceptable. That is not permitted. The cult of this world is based on the assumption that there exists a separate one, who needs to be realized or fulfilled or made healthy or made happy or whatsoever. All of that is a colossal lot of nonsense because there is no such one. There is already no such one. You do not have to run through aeons of time for there to be no such one. To destroy this phantom ego, there is already no such one. He does not exist to be destroyed. He does not exist. There is no reason at all why it should complicate existence. To make the little reference to me. There is no profound reason why, on the basis of that simple little social reference, you should get involved to the depths of your psyche, high and low, in this egoic drama, this assumption of Narcissus. It is just a concept, a modification of your own awareness. It has no fundamental existence at all. You will continue to be frightened of its dissolution until you know its nothingness, until you know the divine who is omnipresent, who is existence. You are not an ego now, and truly you cannot become the self of God. You are already that self-nature. The divine person is always already your condition. Your very consciousness, your own consciousness, is the divine self. It is presently that divine self. It is infinite, formless, unqualified, unconditional, absolute consciousness. That is your nature. That is the nature of every being. There is only the divine consciousness, and you are that. Da.